If you like this video, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos. In honor of the 103rd anniversary of Canada's first major UFO report, we will take a look at the most believable, and somewhat verified, alien and UFO stories in Canada over the last 100 years. Stephen Mihalak's drawing of the craft he saw. ******1. Ottawa, Ontario, February 15, 1915. The following was reported in the Globe newspaper in 1915, in Brockville, Ontario, along the St. Lawrence River. Constables Story, Thompson and Glacier, and several residents became convinced that 3 or 4 UFO aeroplanes had passed by the city, to the northeast, heading in the direction of Ottawa. The actual reports were vague, with the exception of light balls falling from the sky. The first machine was flying very rapidly and very high. Very little could be seen, but the unmistakable sounds of the whirring motor made the presence of the aircraft known. 5 minutes later a second machine was heard, then suddenly 3 balls of light descended from the sky, plunging several hundred feet and extinguishing as they hit the river. A few minutes thereafter, vague observations of 2 more aeroplanes were reported to be passing over the city. As word of the sightings spread throughout Brockville, its inhabitants became wildly excited. At 10:30 p.m., the Brockville police chief sent an urgent telegram to Premier Sir Robert Borden, who summoned Colonel Percy Sherwood, Chief of Dominion Police, and after consultation with military authorities, all lights in the Parliament buildings were extinguished and every blind was drawn. Marksmen were posted at several vantage points on Parliament Hill, while the Prime Minister and Cabinet Ministers kept in close communication in the event of an attack during the night. News of the possible attack spread rapidly, and several members of Parliament rushed to the roof of the main building to see if they could spot any aircraft. The scare in Canada was intensified the following morning, when the Toronto Globe implied that an air raid had actually occurred. Its banner, front-page headline stated, "Ottawa in darkness awaits aeroplane raid." Several aeroplanes make a raid into the Dominion of Canada. Entire city of Ottawa in darkness, fearing bomb droppers. Machines crossed St. Lawrence River. Seen by many citizens heading for the Capital One was equipped with powerful searchlights. Fireballs dropped. Read more about this event here. ****2. Falcon Lake, Manitoba, May 20, 1967. Stephen Mihalak is prospecting near Falcon Lake, Man, when he spots 2 glowing objects hovering ahead of him. One takes off and the other lands just 150 feet away. According to Mihalak, the silver craft is 35 feet in diameter and brilliantly lit. He's close enough to touch the object when it suddenly lifts off, knocking him flat on his back. Over the next few weeks, he suffers from severe headaches, nausea, weight loss, blackouts, and diarrhea, symptoms pointing to a radiation exposure. But doctors can't find anything wrong. 9 months later he collapses and finds burn marks in a series of dots on his chest. What made the Mihalak case so interesting is the detail and the documentation he had to back up his experience. Despite being scrutinized by countless doctors, scientists, RCMP, RCAF, the Federal Department of Health and Welfare, and the Manitoba Department of Health and Welfare, no one has been able to prove or disprove Mihalak's extraordinary story. The Falcon Lake sighting remains one of the most credible UFO cases in the world. Stephen Mihalak, after grid pattern of burns appeared on his stomach. ****3. Shag Harbour, Nova Scotia, October 4, 1967. At about 11:20 p.m., it was reported that something had crashed into the waters of Shag Harbour. At least 11 people saw a low-flying lit object head towards the harbour. Multiple witnesses reported hearing a whistling sound, like a bomb, then a whoosh, and finally a loud bang. The object was never officially identified, and was therefore referred to as a UFO in Government of Canada documents. The Canadian military became involved in a subsequent rescue recovery effort. The initial report was made by local resident Laurie Wickens and 4 of his friends. Driving through Shag Harbour, on Highway 3, they spotted a large object descending into the waters off the harbour. Attaining a better vantage point, Wickens and his friends saw an object floating 250 to 300 meters (820 to 980 feet) offshore in the waters of Shag Harbour. Wickens contacted the RCMP detachment in Barrington Passage and reported he had seen a large airplane or small airliner crash into the waters off Shag Harbour. Here are the only remaining documents and reports from government agencies regarding the sighting. Halifax Chronicle Herald headline from Shag Harbour incident ****4. Carmen, Manitoba, May 13, 1975. One UFO was seen in Manitoba so often that locals named it Charlie Red Star. It has been seen by thousands of people over the period of a few months. Ever since this sighting, Manitoba has become a hotbed for UFO sightings in Canada. Here is an old newsreel on the string of Manitoba UFO incidents. ******* 5. Duncan, British Columbia, November 1980. Granger Taylor, a teenager who was a talented engineer and student, was regarded as a genius by the members of his small town Duncan, BC on Vancouver Island. He was so interested in aliens and UFOs that he built a replica in his backyard. It is still there today. As his interest became more enveloping, he became obsessed with UFOs, constantly talking to family and friends about them. One day he confided in a close friend that he was in contact with aliens, and they were coming to take him away. He was never seen again.